So as you see, there's a lot of people out here that are saying about Canelo Alvarez is past his peak. You know, like they don't see the same. Yeah, they don't see the same killer or knockout artist or whatever you want to call it. His head movement's not the same, whatever. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to when Canelo Alvarez fought Daniel Jacobs. So, and I can't remember what year this is, but I'm gonna work from Daniel Jacobs to John Ryder. Right, all these opponents since then. Okay, Canelo Alvarez against Daniel Jacobs. I think that was one of Canelo's best performance. I'm gonna be real. Obviously, it was a close fight, but um, head movement, like he was defense was phenomenal in that fight. Like it was phenomenal. Like I was like, nah, you cannot hate Canelo, and that was a decent win. All right, you took on a Jacobs. I can't remember who Jacobs beat. Was it? Oh, who did Jacobs beat? I can't remember who he beat. Oh, that I think it's that Czech or Polish, not Polish, Ukraine brother, the one that Golovkin, I think he vacated the belt or yeah, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, Jacobs beats. Sorry, Canelo beats Jacobs. It was a decent win. Okay, now Jacobs is a guy, even though he's a switch hitter, yeah, he's still flat-footed, and especially against a guy like Canelo, who's a shorter guy, head movement on point. Yeah, Canelo, it was a phenomenal performance from him. Now, if I can remember, Canelo, yes, it is Canelo. There was one belt that was left, and that was the WBO against a Demetrius Andrade. Now, Canelo forfeits the undisputed bout. Yeah, because let's be real, Andrade would have been the latest opponent that Canelo would have faced that was a mover, like a Lara, like a Mayweather, even like Amir Khan, more based on speed with Amir Khan than actually real foot movement. But a guy that will cause Canelo a lot of problems because Canelo is a guy who sits down. When he boxes, yes, he looks for those explosive shots, but he needs to sit down to throw those shots. Guys like Andrade, a Lara, like you're missing a lot. You are missing because these guys are not sitting down waiting for you to land your shots. You're gonna work. You're gonna work every second. You got to move. You have to reset your feet to throw those shots, and these guys are not. These guys are not going to allow it. All right. So, rather than Canelo going and fighting a Andrade, he moves up to fight a Rocky Fielding. All right. And if I can remember, he won the WBA. No, it would have been super. It would have been yeah. It would have been WBA super champion. Yeah, he beat Rocky Fielding obviously with body shots. Rocky Fielding was out of his depth. It was a it was a win for like yeah. It was what it was. Like let's be real. Rocky Fielding. It's not like he was a real challenge. It was just basically he was out of his depth. Yeah, Rocky Fielding was out of his depth in that fight. We knew that already. We knew straight away, automatically, as a Canelo win. There's no arguments about that. I didn't think anyone out there gave Rocky Fielding a glimpse of a chance. So anyway, boom. Rocky Fielding, Canelo beats Rocky Fielding, wins the WBA Super title, I believe. Then he goes up to fight a Sergey Kovalev. Now, there's a lot of things, and I'm going to be real. Yeah. When Sergey Kovalev took on Anthony Yarde, I was saying to everyone, it's a bit too early for Yarde. Yeah. But Yarde will give it, like I said, Yarde will give it his all. And shout out to Tunde as well. Anthony Yarde will give it his all. But I just believe it was a bit too early. There's lack of experience. But credit to Yard and the team flew over to Russia, gave it his all. That 8th round, like I said, he really, believe it or not, Yard was one punch away from knocking Kovalev out. Yeah, one punch away from knocking Kovalev out. But let's also be real, okay? It's only because of lack of experience from Yards and the team and that they would have won that. But they gained like what they gained in that fight. You know, like Anthony Yard, this anti version of Anthony Yard now was going to go and fight a Kovalev of back then, would have knocked out Kovalev. No, guaranteed he would have knocked him out. All right. Now, Canelo picked Kovalev, and there's a reason why he picked Kovalev. Okay. 2 fights before, Kovalev got sparked out by Alida Alvarez. Okay. Now, obviously, Kovalev left. I can't remember who he was with at the time because I know he left John David Jackson. So he teamed up with Buddy McGirt, and it was a points win over Buddy McGirt. Then obviously Yard fights Kovalev, lack of experience. Yeah, Kovalev gets the win, and the reason why he gets the win is because Yard he blew himself out. Okay, so boom. Straight after that fight, Kovalev needed to rest. All right, he needed that rest. But what did Canelo, Oscar De La Hoya, and them lot be like? No, you know what? Okay, cool. We're gonna go in, and if I can remember, something like it was a short turnover, like 8 weeks, something like that. I remember Canelo fought Kovalev in November times. Yeah, it was a quick turnaround anyway. He goes in there against a Canelo, all right? Now, everyone knew Kovalev is vulnerable. Yeah, it doesn't take rocket science. Everyone knew that Kovalev was there for the taking for anyone. Anyone would have beat that Kovalev. Yeah? So anyway, Kovalev obviously sticks behind the jab. But Canelo obviously caught him and will catch him. And that's all she wrote. Knocked him spark out. Yeah, I know a lot of people try to say about that. There's a little bit of funny business going in that fight. I don't really want to comment on that because it's been quite a while since I watched that fight. But all I remember is that knockout was legitimate. You can't make that knockout. You cannot make up like that's not a fake knockout for me anyway. But then there's the little things of the rehydration clause that I believe Kovalev was talking about. Like there was a lot of like I said, funny business. Okay, so anyway, Canelo beats Kovalev, becomes a 4-weight world champion, and then all of a sudden, now we're talking. Okay, he's in there in a pound for pound list. All right, like top. If I can't remember, he was like 3rd. Obviously, COVID's happened now, and then I think. Yeah, COVID has happened. Then Canelo then fights Callum Smith. Okay? All right? He fights Callum Smith, giving Callum Smith a 4 weeks notice. All right? A guy of Callum Smith's structure. A 4 weeks notice he was given. Yeah, in December times, I believe. Yeah? To fight Canelo. Obviously, he beats Canelo beats him. To be honest with you, even if Callum Smith had the right preparation, I still believe Canelo would have beat Smith just based on the performance that Smith took on against John Ryder. Yeah, and I know obviously John Ryder being a southpaw and all that kind of stuff there, but the problems that John Ryder gave Smith, that I actually generally believe that John Ryder won that fight. I said from there, Callum Smith is going to lose to Canelo. So and I'm pretty sure after that, Canelo then takes on a Avni Ildrim. Okay, now how this guy was selected as a mandatory for the WBC belt, you tell me. because that was an actual joke. Sorry for that. Just hit my pillow. Yeah. Yeah, that was a joke. How Anthony Ildrim, yeah, becomes mandatory after he loses to Darrell. So you lot tell me that. You lot tell me how this guy gets that opportunity. That's what I just want to know. Anyway, yeah, boom. He beats Ildrim. Next move for Canelo. Actually, talking about that, going back to what I said, Canelo could have been undisputed at middleweight. He didn't take that opportunity. He vacated all these belts, goes to fight Rocky Fielding, then he goes against Kovalev. Now he wants to stay. He wants to stay in the super middleweight division because at that current time, the super middleweight division is weak. Yeah, it is weak. The lack of experience in the super middleweight division, you can't deny. There's a lot that, like Caleb Plant, lack of experience. Yeah. Now, anyway, so Canelo then takes on a Billy Joe Saunders. Now, this here is a legitimate win. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, this here I will give Canelo that win. You cannot deny Canelo did not win. Yeah, he didn't win that. I will say the judges were once again funny in that fight. Were really, really funny in that fight because I don't know how you can tell me that Canelo was winning that fight until, Billy Joe quit. I think Billy Joe, it was a nip and tuck round. So obviously, I can't remember what round he got stopped in, but okay. Anyway, it was close, but all the judges had Canelo winning like the fight prior to the stoppage. So yeah, you guys tell me. Don't get twisted. I know like Billy Joe was put in his place in a lot of ways, but yeah, and let's be real, Billy Joe quit. But also, that version of a Billy Joe, there's no excuses. When Billy Joe fought Martin Murray, it was a flat performance that I said, no, you know what? Canelo's going to beat Billy Joe now. Yeah? It was not the Billy Joe that fought Lemieux. That Billy Joe that be on his toes, slipping, making Canelo look foolish. It wasn't that Billy Joe. So anyway, boom. He beats Billy Joe, but he struggles in that fight. Struggles with the movement. Now, a lot of things that Billy Joe was doing, whether the occasion got to him, he was dropping his hands. Like the way Mark Tibbs trains his fighters, yeah, it looked completely off. It looked completely off to me. Anyway, boom, he beats Billy Joe. He then goes against Caleb Plant. Now, I believe Caleb Plant would cause Canelo a load of problems, which he did. But the judges, the judges looked at it completely different. But I also believe that with Caleb Plant, the fight was too soon for him. Caleb Plant needed a couple of real fights to then go against a Canelo. And going back to what I'm saying, Canelo is picking this division because there's a lot of weak opponents in this division that hold world titles. You can say what you want. This is the truth. All right. Now he goes against Caleb Plant. Obviously, he catches Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant was doing some stupid things out there, like giving Canelo all this respect, mate, which was a joke. So yeah, but say what you want. And at the end of the day, Canelo beat Plant, and you can't take that away from Canelo. Like, obviously, I still believe it was early for Plant, but you can't take it away. Canelo becomes undisputed. All right? Now, within this time, Canelo, made the biggest mistake he could have made. All right? Now, Dimitri Bivol took on a Craig Richards. Bivol looked flat in that performance. That it was, if Craig Richards could have pushed it a bit more, Craig Richards could have been it. Could have actually beat Bivol. Could have. All right. But the problem with Canelo, and I said this. Oh no, let me go back. Actually, with this whole Caleb Plant situation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Canelo was talking about going up to cruiserweight to take on a Makabu. A Makabu. You want to take on Makabu? When you got all these other cruiserweights out there you could have taken on, like a Lawrence Okoli, who hold the WBO title. I mean, you have the WBA Super. No, Super. No, don't. Actually, I tell a lie. No, because there's two divisions. But anyway, I'm pretty sure you going up to cruiserweight to take on a Lawrence Okoli. Let's see how you would have dealt with a Lawrence Okoli. Yeah. But you want to take on Makabu. Now, if you don't know boxing, look, listen, I know what you're doing. Canelo is cherry picking at the elite level. Yeah? He's a cherry pick at the elite level. Whether you like to hear this or not, it is the truth. Okay? The thought of even taking on a Makabu, I could tell you this for a fact, Canelo will beat Makabu. I could tell you this for a fact, Canelo will beat Makabu. Now I'm going to tell you something else. Okay? As he went and picked Bivol, that's where he made the biggest mistake. He made the biggest mistake taking on a Dimitri Bivol. Yeah? Bivol is light on his feet. The first time I watched him is when he fought in Monaco. And that's when Chisora stunk out the place. Who did Caballero? Was it Ajay Caballero that Chisora fought? I'm pretty sure it was Caballero. Anyway, that's the first time I actually saw Bivol. And I said, nah, this guy's a problem. Anyway, boom. Canelo takes on Bivol. Biggest mistake. Bivol is light on his feet and he throws combination punches. But he's been looking flat in his recent bouts. A lot of people didn't give Bivol no chance on beating Canelo. I believed Bivol will beat Canelo. I just didn't believe that Bivol will get the decision in that fight, like a lot of Canelo fights. With the fight that Canelo should have took was a Beterbiev, because I generally believe Canelo will stand a better chance against a Beterbiev than he would against a Bivol. Bivol, his volume, he's in and out. He can't deal with movers, and I've been saying this for years. Like I said, you got to look at the Billy Joe fight. When Billy Joe put his hands down and he's moving around, he struggles. Look at the Mayweather fight, he struggles. Look at the Lara fight, he struggles. Look at like fast fighters, like when he fought Amir Khan in the early rounds, he struggles. Look at Caleb Plant, moving, slipping, whatever, he struggles. Canelo struggles with movers. Canelo struggles with volume punches. Yeah. Fighters that come forward to Canelo, fighters that, he knows what fighters to pick. Anyway, boom. So he loses to Bivol, and he got taught a lesson because it was a cherry that you picked that went sour. Yeah. Then you go in against Golovkin. Yeah. And like I said, once again, cherry pick at the elite level. All of this bickering and all this kind of stuff there. Canelo talking about, this is personal between me and Golovkin and all this nonsense there. It was so personal that, correct me if I'm wrong, it took you how many years to then take on Golovkin? How many years are we talking? We're talking, I'm pretty sure, before the Jacobs fight. Yeah. So you had Jacobs, you fought Jacobs, Fielding, Kovalev, Smith, Ildrim, Billy Joe. Ildrim, Billy Joe, Caleb Plant, Bivol, And on a night fight, you want to come and run it back with a Triple G who is 40-something years old. Once again, cherry pick at the elite level. If anyone thought that Triple G stand any chance against Canelo, you don't know boxing. Go and watch when Triple G took on, I can't remember his name, the Japanese brother. Go watch that fight. Yeah? Just go watch that fight. You don't know boxing if you believe that Triple G standing a chance. And like I said, it was an old man on old legs. But once again, people were disappointed that Canelo could not knock out an old Triple G. All right? Now, I'm going to get through all of this, but I just need to go through all these opponents. Now he takes on a John Ryder. John Ryder is a guy who's got will, but he lacks the skill. John Ryder gave it his all. Yeah? It looked like, oh yeah, finding on the wall that, yeah, Canelo's going to beat John Ryder's going to have a knockout and all this kind of stuff there. It didn't turn out that way. Yeah? It didn't turn out that way. Now, obviously, now everyone's talking about Canelo is like he's on the decline now, yeah? Okay. Now, the reason why I've got to go through all these resumes since when he fought Jacobs, all right? He, number one, still struggles with movers. From when the last mover he really dealt with was Lara, yeah? And if he was really that good, that fight was close, he didn't run it back with Lara after that, did he? Didn't, okay? Canelo, there's things that Canelo does that is great. Great counterpuncher. Like the way he thinks in the ring and all this kind of stuff there. The way he works, the way he picks his shots. He don't waste his shots. There's a lot of things that Canelo does. It's great. I love watching Canelo. So I don't want people thinking I'm a Canelo hater. But the hype that's around this guy is a joke. Now all of a sudden, he's not performing. You guys are saying, oh yeah, he's on a decline. This is the same thing I could talk about with the whole Lomachenko. Oh, Lomachenko's old and all this kind of stuff there. But 3 years ago, you're lot telling me Lomachenko's the best ever. When Mayweather was at his peak, yeah, actually, tell a lie, Mayweather seems to be still at his peak because I don't hear anyone talk about Mayweather dipped. Yeah? When Canelo took on Cotto, yeah? People seem to forget. When Canelo took on Cotto, when Cotto fought Mayweather, he was past his peak. But when Cotto fought Canelo, he's in his peak. Make that make sense. Remember, Canelo's right now 32. How old is Mayweather now? Like, how old was Mayweather when he fought Pacquiao? I know he was like, yeah, way in his late 30s. Yes, he was 36 when he fought Canelo. But the schooling that Mayweather gave Canelo, and you can't make this stuff up. Now what you're gonna try and tell me? Oh yeah, it's the battle scars, it's the battle won. He's had how many belts or whatever. There's always excuses. Canelo is a great fighter, but he's not what you guys portray him to be. Where you guys are manufacturing this guy like he's one of the greatest, not all-time greats. He's not that. Canelo is a great fighter, but he don't come under that class of the elite. Whether you like to hear this or not, yeah? In our generation of fighters, cool, we're going to have to put him up there, yeah, as one of the best. Like I said, you can't say that Canelo's not in the top 10 pound for pound. I'm not going to argue with that. But the way you guys push him, it is a joke. It is a joke. Yeah? People criticizing about his past his peak because it's not that he's past his peak. It's the same thing. Like, it's the same things over and over again. When Canelo, go back, like I said, if you guys know boxing, go and watch the Jacobs fight. Then go and watch the Kovalev fight. Like, mate, that's it. He has peaked. Like I said, one of the most best explosive punchers out there. 110%. Against guys who sit down on their shots. That's it. So look, all this talk about, oh, Canelo, he's past his peak and all this kind of stuff there. Like, there's the decline now and all this kind of stuff there. No, because Canelo's taken on certain challenges that, he's getting pushed. Triple G has never been dropped. Same thing like Canelo. Canelo's chin. Canelo's been buzzed. He's been really hurt once, but Triple G has never been dropped. Yeah, that Triple G right there, the one that Canelo fought last. That Triple G is old. That Triple G was there for the taking. And you put Triple G in there against, like, maybe because that Triple G's just got this grid, like I said, this great chin. But you put him in there against, like, I don't know, let's just say like a Carl Froch, for example, or a super middleweight, like a Carl Froch. Like, not saying that these guys might not have been able to knock out GGG, but they would have really bust them up though. Yeah, I know these people talk about this hand injury and all this kind of stuff. There's why he couldn't get the knockout, mate. Stop the excuses. Canelo is a great fighter, but he's not what you try to engine, like, manufacturing him. He's a manufactured champion. Yeah. Like, that's what it is. Come on, man. Talking about fighting the Usyk as an example. Talking about fighting the Usyk, I'll do it 1 pound over the cruiserweight limit. If you're that good, go up there. Go up there and fight Usyk. What do you think will happen? Like, dumb questions. These dumb questions, and people like these media entertainers nonsense about Canelo stands a chance against Usyk. No chance whatsoever against Usyk. You struggle with the likes of Billy Joe. You struggle with the likes of, like, guys who move, and then you would go there against Usyk. Like I said, man, some people, man, you expect to get better from guys who actually know boxing. Like, you expect a lot better from these guys that actually know boxing. Listen, Canelo's a great fighter, but stop pushing him to something that he's not. Anyway, it's Elijah Fan. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Oh, P.S. Before I go, Canelo, go and take on the David Benavidez, by the way. Yeah, that's a fight that the boxing fans want. Yeah, stop this whole nonsense about you don't want to fight no Mexican fighters and all this kind of stuff there, because when you was growing up, yeah, when you was building yourself up, you was taking on Mexican fighters. Go and push, and let's have that Mexican bout, and let's see who the real super middleweight #1 is in the division. All right, it's Elijah Fan. I'm out.